This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Hey guys, how you doing? Well, today I thought I'd show you how you can turn old books into artworks. Well, where you can use them as a basis for artworks. I'm going to show you a range of things. I just went to the second-hand store today and just bought these 3 books, and I'm going to turn them into little artworks. I just buy them because I found the covers quite interesting, and I like this one because it looks quite old and worn, and that's a good thing. I mean, this one dates from what was it? 1893, this book. This one I really like, not so much for the cover, but that's interesting as well, but there's a print in here which I love, and I actually think it's hand printed as well, the artwork, and that dates from 1910, so I'd like to just have that artwork in a frame or something. And the last one's just a square book, hardcover. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of my plexiglass artworks inside it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark the size that I need to cut a window out of the actual front of the artwork, of the book, sorry. So I'm just going to trace around that with that in pencil first, and then I'm going to cut it out, cut the panel out, and then we'll go from there. So I've cut the hole out of the book, the square, and I just did that with using a Stanley knife and just taking my time to run it around with a ruler. Just keep on scoring it back until you get through to the book. So you can use this piece for another artwork, and so basically that's my basic square, and the artwork basically sits in like that. So it's just another way of presenting your artwork. You don't need to go and buy a frame, and you can buy books, of course, of all different sizes depending on what artwork you want to put into it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill screws into it and make it look a bit, I don't know, a bit interesting.
Yeah.
like this eye that I cut out of a magazine, and I'm going to glue it in the middle up the top with some decoupage glue, and then when it sits in there it's going to look really cool. And what I've got here is my wood burning tool, but it's got all these attachments, like you can brand things, and there's like a bunch of different attachments with different designs. So I'm going to try and experiment by burning some patterns into the book as well. Okay, so I just burnt that in there. Ooh. Oh, love that effect. Let me try on this side now. It just adds an extra element of interest to the book. How cool is that? So there's so many possibilities to these books. You know, you can turn them into assemblage pieces. I mean, it's up to your imagination what you do. This one I've just engraved with my burning tool, the Magic Crow. And what I might do is, I might make this book just basically filled with all different crow stencils and crow images, and do a lot of writing. I'll just glue a couple of these pages together that I've done. Like I've just printed them at the moment, but I'll glue them together so you can't see it, and I'll just put heaps of crow images and I'll glue those together as well so you can't see it. And I just put gesso on first, let it dry, and then make my prints. I mean, I'm not a big journaler, and you know, my interest isn't so much in journaling, but just gives you an idea that you can make an artist book and you can make a journal as well. Personalise it, which is great, because I'd love to have a little book full of all just crow stencils, all different types and varieties, and put some writing about them on there as well. Now what I did was with the cover that was originally in there, I just cut it out and made a crow stencil. But what would be cool was, instead of putting it back in but slightly on an angle, and I've sort of printed it slightly on an angle as well, so you could actually glue it like that back onto the front, which just makes it come out. So I'm going to do some more wood burning on it, but this just gives you an example of what you can do. So I hope that inspires you to race out to the second-hand store and grab some old books and just go ballistic, and be proud of your art, no matter how small or how insignificant you think it is. Just remember, it's important, and if you don't think it's important or significant, then you're sending that message out to the universe, and you reap what you sow. So be proud of what you do, and even, like I said, no matter how small it is, it's worth something, and it's valuable. It's your little mark in history, and stand proud with that and shine your light.